Hey everyone, it's Greg Powers with Keller Williams Metropolitan. If you've been getting my newsletter in the mail, before you've tossed it in the recycling bin, you may have noticed a little note about a simple sale program that I've instituted, and I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on that. Now, most people, when they want to sell their house, are looking to get the best possible price. Only makes sense, right? But there are some people for whom timing and convenience are more important than price for a variety of reasons. And that's what the Simple Sale program is designed for. It just provides another option to someone who's looking to sell. So here's a little chart to explain the differences between those two options. So the top half of this diagram shows the more traditional path to selling a house. Once you decide to sell, you'll probably reach out to a realtor or maybe interview a few. That agent will make suggestions for repairs and updates that might need to be done. You'll probably want to do some deep cleaning of the house and then schedule a professional photographer. And depending on how much needs to be done and how much time you have in your day, that could take anywhere from a week to a couple of months sometimes. Now, once it's live in the MLS and is showing up on Zillow and Realtor.com, then you'll take some time to schedule showings, maybe an open house. You collect offers depending on the strength of the market, negotiate back and forth, and finally get the property under contract. And again, depending on the strength of the market, that could be a week, could be several weeks or a month. And once the property goes under contract, that's when the fun begins. Usually the first thing that will happen is the buyer will schedule their inspections. That can take a week, 2 weeks. If any issues come up, you need to spend time negotiating those out. And unless the buyer's paying cash, their lender is going to send an appraiser out to make sure that the property's worth what the bank is about to loan on it. If it comes up short, if the appraisal comes up short, then that becomes negotiable as well, typically. And during this time, of course, the buyer has applied for their mortgage and the lender is going through underwriting to make sure that they will, in fact, qualify for the loan. And once the lender has confirmed that they qualify for the loan, they will issue what's called the clear to close, which means everything's okay. But the buyer still has to do their walkthrough just to make sure all the appliances the seller said were going to be there are still there. Make sure no holes were kicked in the wall during the move-out process and things like that. Now you'll notice I labeled the last few sections here the zone of uncertainty. And it's true, this is the point at which things can go wrong and a transaction can fall apart, putting you back to square one. But I don't want to exaggerate that too much. A good agent who has done their homework and does their job well can help reduce a lot of that uncertainty, but they can't remove it entirely. Things can go wrong. So, if your agent has done their job and everything goes smoothly, you get paid. The closing takes place and you collect your check, and hopefully it's a big fat one. So as you can see, the traditional way to sell your home, which will net you the most money, does have a lot of moving parts, and it can be a long timeline between deciding to sell and getting the house under contract. Who knows how long that might take. And then once it's under contract to closing and getting your check, typically 45 days or so. It can be a little quicker, can take a little longer depending on circumstances. The Simple Sale program, by contrast, is designed to compress that time frame and remove the uncertainties. With the Simple Sale, you just call me to come out and take a look at the property. Then I'll formulate an offer for you, and if you accept it, we can close sometimes in as little as 10 days and get you to that payday quickly. You don't need to do any prep work, no updates or repairs, no cleaning. And because it will be a cash or privately financed offer, there's no loan application and no appraisal. And I don't do any inspections either. So it's a very simple, clean process and can be very quick. Now, as you can probably guess, the Simple Sale program will not net you the most money. The offer may be a little bit low depending on the condition of the house. But it is a way to remove uncertainty and, again, make things happen quickly for you if that's what you need. And if you decide not to accept the offer, you still have the traditional method of selling your house available to you. As a licensed agent, I can still list the property for you. So you have the best of both worlds. So If you know of anyone who's thinking of selling or needs to sell, feel free to put them in touch with me. I would love to discuss these and maybe some other options and figure out the best way to help them out. Thank you so much.